everyone, this is Cindy from Stamped with Aloha. Today I'm going to teach you how to create a very simple punch art card that features the Courage and Faith stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started with today's project. So this is a stamp set that we're using. For our card today, we're going to be using the sentiment that says be of good courage, and then we're also going to be using one of these images right here. You can use either one. Okay, so to get started, we are going to prepare the base of the card. And so I have a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to take that cardstock and fold it in half. And next, we want to create a layer. Now this card is being created for somebody who is battling breast cancer. So I wanted to use the color pink. And so this layer here is a 4 inch by 5 1/4 piece of our new Bubble Bath Pink. And then in order to represent something strong, to encourage her to be strong, I wanted to use this new embossing folder called the Exposed Brick embossing folder. So I'm going to take this and place the pink cardstock into the embossing folder, and then I'm going to go ahead and run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, and now this is completed, so I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive and glue it onto the front of the card. Okay, now our background is done and we're ready to add a base for our focal point. So for that, I've taken a piece of white cardstock and I used this die from the Scallop Contour dies, and this is going to be the base for the focal point. So I am going to do some stamping on this piece. Using my black Memento ink, I'm going to go ahead and ink up this sentiment that says be of good courage, and I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom of the die cut piece. All right, now we're ready to begin our punch art. So we're going to start with 2 different punches. We have the 2-inch circle punch, and then we also have the decorative circle punch, okay? So the first thing that we're going to punch is using 2 pieces of cardstock, soft seafoam and petal pink. I'm going to take these 2 cardstocks, I'm going to line them up together, and then using the 2-inch circle punch, I'm just going to punch about halfway or a little less than halfway across. Now that one's done, so next we're gonna just punch a full circle using the petal pink, okay? So now we have these 3 pieces. All right, using the same 2-inch circle, I'm gonna take and I'm gonna punch about a little more than halfway, this punch here. And then using espresso cardstock again, I'm gonna take the decorative circle and I'm gonna punch a full decorative circle. Okay, so with these 5 pieces of cardstock, we are going to build our little punch art girl. Now, for the face, you could draw on a face, but I'm going to be using this image from the Little Monkey stamp set. Now, the only thing with that image is that I'm going to omit the nose. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So I have a black Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to carefully color over the eyes and over the mouth. Okay, and once I've added a little bit of ink with this marker, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to stamp the face kind of towards the bottom of my 2-inch petal pink circle. All right, now for this piece here, this is going to represent the clothing. And so because I'm making this card for somebody who lives here in Hawaii, I want it to look like a tropical design. So I'm going to stamp this piece, but for this, you could easily have made this piece out of designer series paper and it'll save you a step from stamping. So let me quickly stamp this. I will be using a image from the Tropical Leaf stamp set, this Monstera image right here, and then I'm going to stamp that with some soft seafoam ink. So let me just do that really quickly. I'm going to put a little a little leaf going in this direction and a little leaf coming in from that direction. All right, because this is the clothing, I also need to do a neckline. And so with that same 2-inch circle punch, I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to take a little bite out of the circle to form the neck, okay? And then you can line it up with this one here to make sure that you have it at a good length, but that looks good. Okay, now we're ready to assemble these pieces. So let's start by putting the face onto this decorative circle like that, okay? And then we're going to put a little tiny bit of adhesive on this top part of the circle, and we are going to slide that under before it dries so that we can create the neckline like so. All right, then we'll take the clothing and we'll put this on here as well. Now I'm using liquid glue, so that will allow you a little bit of wiggle room to adjust it. And that's one of the reasons why I love working with liquid glue. Okay, so now you can see the neckline a little bit better. All right, let's give her some bangs. I want to add some texture to the bangs, so first let me line these up and see how that's gonna look. Okay, that looks good, but to add a little texture, I'm just gonna take and just cut a little triangle out of the front of the bangs like that. All right, so now I've got that cut, and so you can choose to just glue this down flat, or if you want, you can pop it up a little bit with a dimensional. So I do it both ways, but hey, I got my dimensionals right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of dimension by raising the hair up a little tiny bit. Okay. Right, next step, we're gonna take a light bubble bath blend marker and we are going to just add some rosy cheeks. Okay, I adjusted the bangs a little bit because when I looked at them like this, I realized they were a little low. So there, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so now I have the little girl done, and then I have the base here, Be of Good Courage. So we're gonna flip this over. Now I'm gonna take a couple of dimensionals and strategically place them between the hair and the body so that that will help to hold this in place where we want it to go. Okay, then I'm gonna take off the backing of the dimensionals and she is gonna go right here. Okay, then we're gonna flip it over again. We're gonna add dimensionals to the back of this piece and take off the backing. And then we're gonna turn this around and bring out our base here. And then we're going to put this on the front of the card. Okay, to finish up this card, we're gonna bring back the Courage and Faith stamp set. And I'm gonna be using this image here. You could use either one. In fact, you could use these as well. But we're gonna create a lei po'o or a flower crown for this sweet little girl. And that's really gonna bring this card all together. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna ink up this image with my Memento ink. I'm going to stamp it onto a scrap of basic white cardstock. Now, with the Stampin' Blend markers, I'm gonna quickly color it, but let me just show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take a seafoam green, and then I will be coloring in all the leaves like that, okay? And then with the light with the Flirty Flamingo, this is light Flirty Flamingo, that's where there's 3 flower images on here. So I'm gonna just color in the full flower with that Flirty Flamingo, and I'll do that on all 3. And then using this Poppy Parade light, I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna add a little pop of Poppy Parade at the bottom of that flower just to bring in a little color. Okay, so I'm gonna just color it like that. Now, I don't want it to be super stark like that, so what I'll do is I'll come back and I'm just gonna blend that in over the top with my pink again, and that'll soften it up. Then I'm gonna come back with the light Parakeet Party, and I'm gonna brighten up those leaves like that. And so you'll see me do that on all of those. And then the final thing that I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna do this really quickly, is I'm going to take that seafoam again, and this time I'm gonna just go over that center line, and then I'm just gonna kind of fill in around here because I want it to look like a flower crown. So I'm just gonna fill in some of the white spaces. And then where you see the little pink dots, that's where I'm gonna take my light bubble bath, which is this one here, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill in like that. And we're gonna just fill this in so that it'll make it a little bit thicker, and that'll make a nicer lei for her head. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that really quickly. Okay, now I have it all colored in, so to finish this off, I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut it. All right, so I have that all fussy cut, and then I'm gonna take, I've added 2 dimensionals on the back, I remove the backing, and then you can go ahead and just place that on her head. And there you go, that just makes a perfect finishing touch for this card. Now the last thing that we're gonna do is just add some jewel rhinestones. So let me grab my iridescent rhinestones here, and we're gonna just put these on the bottom. So I'm gonna have one on each side of the sentiment, and then I'll do a smaller one and kind of angle it right like that. And there you go, you have a completed card. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I hope that you had fun learning how to create a simple punch art card that I hope will be an encouragement to the person who receives it. I look forward to sharing more ideas with you in the near future. So I hope you'll come back and stamp with me and punch with me again real soon. Until then, aloha.